stay a while and listen.
Welcome, yet again, to the show where Saul takes a drink.
Yes, I was drinking some water.
We're really bad about our timing on that. All right, this is the AOP Podcast, Agony of Positivity, if you're telling people to search for it.
Yes.
I just got winded during the intro. Amazing. So, I am Ross.
And I'm Saul.
All right. So, we are post-Royal Rumble at this point.
Yep.
We are real post-Royal Rumble because we record on Saturday.
Yes.
I would love it if the work week or all the wrestling companies would switch it up to where they were a day or two before us.
Work for our...
Then we could do it.
Work around our schedule.
That'd be very nice.
Yes.
Or we win the lottery and it doesn't matter. We just do whatever. So yeah, we had that. There's a lot of wrestling stuff to talk about this week.
There's a lot of wrestling, yes.
That's going to be like probably the middle of the show. We're going to kick it off with...
Well, before we start talking about...
the show?
Stuff, yeah, the show. How's your week been?
Busy.
Yeah?
Yeah, it sucks.
Making swords and...
Yeah, let me tell you.
Morning stars. And
I hate working.
Yeah?
I'd like to switch to a place where I made bows. Not like Robin and Nightwing bows, but like Robin Hood bows.
Yeah?
Yeah, that'd be way better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've seriously done nothing except work, come home. Man, I'd like to play video games.
Yeah.
And then it's morning.
You fall asleep.
Time travel is how I like to refer to it.
Yeah.
Like the couch is my time travel device to morning.
Yeah, I told my boss, I was like, if I can find a way... What's going on with the recording here?
Huh. Oh, it's just not moving. Like, it's not scrolling as it goes. But that's still fine.
All right, just making sure we wasn't just talking to thin air. Yeah, I told my boss, I was like, if I can find a way someone pays me to sit at home and do nothing, but I still make a paycheck, it'd be awesome. He's like, well, it'd be kind of hard to find. I'm like, I'm going to find it.
If you can get injured bad enough
yes.
to where you can get disability.
Yes.
But the problem is, you need and I'm not coming down on people who get disability because there are a lot of people that need help finding an in-network sword provider that have some pretty awful disability issues where you can't do anything.
Yeah.
So you need one of those like disabilities that you can still function.
Yeah.
But you can't work.
Yeah.
Because you don't want I'm paralyzed.
Sure.
Because that's no good.
Sure. Well, I knew a guy who I worked at a fast food restaurant. He was changing out the oil and he fell. Like
from the fryer oil?
Yeah, fryer oil.
Okay.
And as he was moving it to the next location, he tripped and his whole right hand went into the actual grease.
Like
that was
hot grease?
Yeah, hot grease.
Now, had it been... If people don't know how this works, this is my experience from fast food, is you usually drain the oil. Like when it's time to refresh the oil, you drain it out into this bizarre device that it's like a shop vac almost. Yeah. And then you take that out back, usually there's like the big grease trap thing that you put it into.
Well, I think nowadays they've actually made it to where it's in-house, where the thing goes down to an actual bin and the semi-truck comes.
So that you're not... And the thing about changing the grease is usually you have to have that on to where the grease gets to temperature so it's liquid.
Yeah.
So there's not really a way to do that where it's not hot enough to burn you.
Yeah.
So...
But anyway,
to have an idea of maybe there's a way to not have 350 degree grease just being
because
around,
they probably had a lot like this guy because he, like I said, his whole right hand went into the actual thing. And he, second degree, third degree, I don't know. It was, because he obviously took it right out where I don't need to keep it in there.
Unless he was covered in batter.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever did that, where you cover yourself in batter and you can put your hand in the fryer.
No, I have never done that.
It's awesome. Someone out there knows exactly. They're sitting there going, yeah, that was awesome.
No, I would never want to put my hand in Ross, what is wrong with you?
Like, no, it's a cool thing. I bet they did it at Long John Silver's all the time.
Well, in any case, to wrap up the story here.
Right. Yeah, so he ended up
lawsuit. So he got a lawsuit, and from what I understand, he didn't have to work for the rest of his life, and, he only got a little burn there.
I'm going to say hand in grease. So, my first job, I was 14.
Yeah.
And, first real job. I had a paper route. That's the biggest scam ever. Talk about, like, multi-level marketing, like, where that has the bad rap.
Yeah.
Pretty sure when 12-year-olds were doing paper routes 7 days a week, that is worse. Should have been against the law. But either way, so the first real job that was kind of normal was a McDonald's.
Yeah.
And they had the fryer, and the floors were always greasy.
Okay.
And I had this fear of going by the fryers, slipping, going to put my arm down, and it going in the fryer. Like, just fear of it.
Yeah.
I still have that. Like, if I was at a restaurant that had a fryer, that would be a fear to this day. Because you worked with me in an industrial environment. You cannot tell me that is not the exact kind of thing that would happen to me.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be my fault. It'd be some bizarre occurrence where, like, the shake machine exploded and knocked me into it.
I still remember that night. We were cleaning that area, and you dropped that thing on you. I was like, how did you do that?
I didn't drop it. It got hooked and came apart, which it shouldn't have fallen apart the way that it did.
I think you dropped it on yourself.
No.
Anyway.
It wasn't that heavy. But
anyway.
Getting paid to not do anything.
Be awesome.
All right.
So we had a listener request something.
Yes. So so people haven't figured it out yet. Pretty much, if someone requests something and it's reasonable, it's going to get it's going to be in front of the show.
As long as it's reasonable, yeah.
Yes.
This is from Daryl. We assume it's from The Walking Dead.
And it's not for me to play Death Stranding, so because I'm not playing that game.
Yes.
Well, let me rephrase that. I'm not buying that game to play it.
If someone wants to buy it for us, and then
they can buy it for you. I'll watch you. That's fine. But that is not a game that, like, you see a game where you're like, that's an awesome game. That's not for me. Kind of like that Getting Over It game.
Yes.
Fun game to watch. Not for me. But so it was a request for Star Trek.
Yeah, so Daryl wanted us to watch Star Trek Next Generation.
Season 2?
Season 2, episode 15?
16.
16.
Pretty sure it was 16, because it's Q-Who.
Yeah, Q-Who, yeah.
Which I was excited as soon as I saw the name of the episode.
Yeah.
This is not a season I watched a whole lot of.
Yeah,
because I was 9 years old at the time.
Sure.
So it was a couple years before I got fully into Star Trek.
Anytime Q is in a Star Trek episode, it's awesome.
I don't know if there's a bad one.
Yeah.
There's ones that are probably worse than other Q episodes, but...
I mean, so, like, Star Trek Voyager, I really didn't like that much.
Yeah.
But they did a lot of Q stuff. Anytime Q was in Star Trek Voyager, I enjoyed it. So
I would say that it would be hard not to. So, all right, here we go.
I'm in control here, and you're going to give me what I want. Give me what I want. You know what I want. I've been asking for it, and you're going to give me what I want.
So something I noticed, because I have not watched a Next Generation episode in a very long time.
Okay.
Is, I don't know how you would put this. The intro, like, where they're doing the names and the ship keeps flying by, it's pretty bland. Because it's just the ship flying at the screen.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like a screensaver, basically.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's how the original series was.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, it's something that, like, of the things to notice, I noticed that, because I remember being, like, super excited for the intro all the time.
Yeah.
And now it's like, man, that's not nearly as cool as I remember it.
Sure. Well, it was 1989, Ross.
Yeah. Well,
a lot of things have changed.
40-year-old me is a little bit harder to impress than a 9-year-old.
Sure.
It turns out. I still love the music, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, so this one starts out, was the brand new girl character. Was that Sonya?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a note here. Let's see what I got. This is my exact writing of the note. So I watched the episode, and I wrote down stuff, and I looked some stuff up, too, just to give myself knowledge.
Sure.
That is the exact character type that drives me insane and I hate.
Well, yeah, I don't know, because a lot of people, I was reading about this episode, and a lot of people suspected that they were trying to introduce a new character.
Yeah, I saw, I got notes from, I use one of the fan site Wikipedia things. Memory Alpha Fandom, it looks like.
Gotcha.
Is where I pulled some of my notes from. I was just trying to find something that had some stuff where it was supposed to be like a new comic relief type character.
Okay.
It only made it a couple episodes.
Yeah.
So for myself, glad, because basically if you give me man, woman, child, the over anxious character, can't handle it. Now I do.
So Barkley, did you like Barkley?
Wait, who's Barkley?
You know who Barkley is?
I can't remember.
Here, let's pause it. And,
okay. We're pausing. Be back. And no, I do not remember him really at all. But yeah, like you said, A-Team.
Yeah. So Barkley was just that nervous. He's not as bad as this woman.
Right, but he's still problematic.
Yeah.
Oh man, I just could not. I couldn't handle her. I would have just never.
Though, I did think it's funny how Jordy got mad at her.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I have a question for that.
Yeah.
So, one, I swear they did 3 takes of the hot chocolate spill.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like the stains were different each time it cut.
From IMDb, they actually said that. Yeah, there was multiple takes because the stains all over the place on the
they're just not consistent. What I want to know is how is Jordy being oh, that was totally my fault. Even though I was all the way over here, I caused that.
I think he was saying that because he was distracting her because he was talking to her.
No, I don't care.
Well, so the one thing I want to get at that he has a problem with her carrying around the hot chocolate but she ordered it in the engine room. They have a replicator right there in the engine room. So
just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Well, don't put it in there. That was my whole problem. Jordan's like, should you really be drinking that around?
You need to be upper management with that kind of decision making.
Yes.
Because that's how you lose good things.
Yes.
Instead of punishing the person who doesn't make the responsible decision, you just take it away.
Yeah.
I understand now.
They just put it there to tease people. It's there, but we're not allowed to use it.
You can have solid food.
Yes.
But no drinks.
Yes.
Even though it'll still make the drinks.
Yeah.
But I did where she said please and thank you to the machine.
Yeah.
Because I do that to Siri on my phone.
Yeah.
Hey, I try to be nice. When the machine uprising comes, I'd like to at least be made into a slave for a little while, as opposed to outright eliminated.
Yeah.
So that's my thought there. So it was funny. The Wikipedia that I was looking at for this, or the actual Wikipedia, the real Wikipedia, it needs about 350.
Yeah.
They just skipped that entire intro scene. So I don't know if that was an intentional thing, or maybe I just didn't see it listed, but I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it really doesn't. She doesn't really do anything for the episode. It's just kind of comic relief, I guess.
Right. Well, I mean, that would go with what I found, where that was the intent, and then they just didn't follow through. Oh. I don't know. You had Data. He's pretty funny.
Yeah.
In my mind, so there's going to be a lot of jumping on this discussion, I have the feeling.
Okay.
In my mind, you know how Data has the brother that had the emotions?
Oh, Lore?
Yes.
Yeah.
In my mind, Lore is a mix of Brendan Fraser and when Data is on Big Bang Theory as himself.
Okay.
That is how I remember Lore now, is a mix of those two people.
Okay, all right.
Which I know isn't even close, but it's been so long since I've seen it. That's what I...
So I have a problem with, since we're kind of off topic a little bit here, with Lore's character.
Yeah.
So they introduced him as Data's brother or whatever,
Yeah.
And then, when the movies happened, they kind of just forgot about Lore, and they introduced the other less sophisticated model, B4. And they're like, oh, Data, you have a brother. And they're all shocked. I'm like, well, no, he has a brother. His name's Lore.
Creative licensings.
Yeah.
See, the problem
irks me.
What really happened is someone in upper management was like, oh, we can't have Lore causing problems, so we'll just get rid of it. Just like you want to get rid of the food processor.
Sure.
So
it bothered me.
The whole thing with Picard having the hot chocolate spilled on him is... So I at first also thought that, having not actually seen this episode ever, possibly, or having no memory of it, that might have been Q. Because that seems like a Q kind of thing to do. Okay. Just to mess with Picard. Like,
sure, yeah.
How's he going to react to this?
Yeah, I can see that.
But, so it ends up with... Picard goes into the elevator and gets kidnapped by Q into one of the shuttles.
Yeah.
Like, pretty standard. I mean...
It's just a random Q-ness. It's just aggravating Picard.
Is it pronounced Guinan? Whoopi Goldberg's character?
Guinan.
Guinan,
yeah.
I have it like written here, but
I will correct you.
Okay, so she's like the only person who's force sensitive enough, I guess.
Yeah,
to know that something's up.
Yeah, they don't really explain her character a lot,
right? And I didn't do any research because I was kind of curious what was going on. Mm-hmm. That she knew something was up, but they couldn't figure it out. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, I guess, and from whatever I read about after I watched this episode, everyone was kind of curious about. So, like, wait. So, is Guinan just as powerful as
Q?
As Q? Because
clearly not. She's like half as powerful at best.
Yeah. Why do you say half as powerful?
I mean, pretty obvious. Like when they get back on the ship,
and
her and Q square up. He throws up one hand. She's got both hands up. So I'm assuming that whatever power that she was going to use, he could easily match with at least one hand.
Sure.
So max 50-50.
Well, I mean, he is using his hand. Usually he just snaps his fingers. So, I mean, she has to be somewhat powerful.
Right, but if he would have been real worried, he probably would have had both hands up.
Yeah.
Is what I assume.
Well, and like everyone was saying, like, that I was reading about, they were like, so... Guinan has never shown any kind of power to match Q.
I was wondering, because I know she was like in the show for a while.
Well, because
I don't remember anything that she ever did.
So I guess her race, her species or whatever, lives for thousands and thousands of years.
Yeah.
And that's about it. That's the only thing we ever get from him. So like, how can a species that lives very long can be a match to a god, basically?
I mean, you could get good at something.
Yeah.
Probably, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird. But anyway, yeah, so I'm trying to think. It feels like there's a big, probably 10 minutes of this episode is just filler. Yeah. Where they spin the ship around in a spherical pattern.
Well, it says here that this episode went $50,000 over budget.
Right. So, so they probably burned it all for the board.
Yeah.
Would be my guess.
Yeah.
Because and I think you got a lot of the same information I got here. So I guess we'll skip ahead. So Picard agrees to listen to Q.
Yeah.
So he gets him back to the ship. Mm-hmm. Him and Guinan. I'm really doing it just so someone will freak out and have mean things to say.
Yeah.
But so they square up, and then Picard's like, yeah, whatever. He takes a seat. And the way he goes to the chair seemed incredibly smug to me. Like, did you notice, just his posturing?
Well, this whole the whole scene between Riker and Picard, it was very pompous. Like
for someone that could destroy them.
Yes.
But maybe they know that Q's not actually going to do that.
They seem very, very smug to me. Yes.
Like, I don't know if that was intentional. Like, I don't know if they're like, we really need a little extra on how you interact with Q to where you don't give him the respect that you probably should.
Well, see, because from my knowledge, it's been a while since I've seen Next Generation, but I think Q was on Next Generation like 3 more times before this episode.
Yeah, at least a couple.
So maybe
they had previous.
So maybe it's just one of those things where they're like, well, we know he's powerful. He can do whatever he wants.
So we might as well just...
I'm not going to give into his game. If he wants to destroy us, he can destroy us, whatever. But I'm not... Then maybe that's how they were...
Right, and that's a very Picard way to go about it, I would say.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically he tells him he wants to be part of the crew.
Yes.
Which I would agree there would be no way I would allow that.
Yes.
Like, I just can't see that going
But
well.
the thing is, you couldn't stop it. I mean, if Q wanted to be part of the crew, he could just be like, "Well, I'm part of the crew," and just like go on the. They're not
okay.
They're not going to be able to get him off the ship. So
Right.
technically, he don't have to ask their permission. So I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah, just the way they were going about it.
Yeah.
That's what Q does, though. So,
Yeah.
But basically, the whole thing is he's trying to warn them.
That's
As the episode goes on, it makes more sense what he was talking about.
Yeah.
That there's things that they're not prepared for.
Yeah.
That they're going to find, but he could help them. Now, it would have been real interesting if there's an alternate universe where this episode Q joins them
Yes.
and becomes like Riker, basically.
Yes.
Or like the science officer.
Yeah.
And I would imagine he'd turn himself into a Vulcan just because that'd be funny.
Yes.
And then he legitimately helps them.
I can see.
He goes a very different way.
I can see him like turning himself to a Klingon just to make Worf mad.
Yes, I do like it when. We'll get to that part later because he's not very nice to.
He never was. I mean, every time he had interactions with Worf, it was always comical.
Yeah, he just treats him like garbage.
Yes.
But yeah, so eventually he hurls them thousands of light years away from where they were.
7,000 light years.
It's a lot. Well,
Yes.
didn't they say it would take them like 2.5 years to get to the nearest base at maximum warp, which I don't think they could do for that long.
Sure,
There's fuel and everything.
Yeah.
So, and then it's suggested that they should just turn around because, well, the Borg ship shows up. And they're like, oh. And a big square would have to be scary. Like,
Sure.
everything you know about, like, space, technology, travel, and then you see this big thing that just shouldn't...
Well, so this is the first time the Borg appears.
Yes.
Their ship... you want to talk about, like, the graphics at the beginning? The graphics on this Borg ship was just...
rough.
Yes.
Cutting edge at the time.
Sure, yeah.
It's much like if you watch Terminator 2.
Oh, yeah.
It's like not billions, but millions of dollars for the special effects.
Yeah.
But you're like, with my phone and some tinfoil, I might be able to pull some of that off nowadays.
Sure, yeah.
So, or just like any of the cheaper animation stuff. But did you know, and you probably did, because you look like you have the exact same information I have
What?
on this, where they had planned to use the Ferengi as the main villain, but they...
Well, and
it sounds like they just botched them.
Well,
the first appearance just didn't...
So, I remember the first appearance. Do you remember that? So, they, I don't know how they run across them on this planet. And they all have these whips. They're like energy whips or something.
Okay.
And, they make them out to be like warriors. And it's totally not Ferengi at all. And
what we end up knowing.
And I guess people were like, I can't take these guys serious. Which I'm glad they went with the Borg route because...
that is much more menacing.
Yes.
Well, and then you end up with... what was the one guy he was always wanting? Was it the Latinum?
Cork.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's easy to see. But yeah, I guess what I found here was like Roddenberry, he wasn't keen to reuse stuff from the original. So they developed the Ferengi, which were supposed to be the main villains. But after the new aliens' first few appearances, it was decided they were too comical to suit such a role. And instead, they've been looking for a new adversary for Starfleet. And I believe, if I researched correctly, the Borg were originally going to be like an insectoid type race.
That was what I read.
Which probably would have been pretty horrifying.
But I guess the budget didn't allow that.
Bug animation or bug suits would be more expensive than...
Well, I think it's funny how in your notes there it says Roddenberry was not keen on reusing aliens from the original series. He has Klingons and he has...
Well, I think they wanted a new big bad villain or whatever. Because I think the Borg only had 5 episodes, right? Something like that. They weren't in very many. Because if they showed up, you needed Jesus and Goku.
Yes.
Let me see. Yeah, and that was... I guess they were supposed to be in the first episode of the Neutral Zone, where they referenced the one planet that they found. What was it, like the Class M planet that had all the industrialization almost scooped out. But I guess the Writers Guild strike in '88 put a halt to that.
Those Writer Guild strikes.
There was another one, right? Like, I don't remember that one at all. I know there was the one in the late 90s or early 2000s or whatever.
Yeah, I remember the 2000 one.
Shows.
I don't remember anything else.
Yeah, I mean, again,
I'm assuming it's
8 or 9, I'm not paying attention to that kind of stuff.
I mean, let's say it affected our cartoons. I don't think we would have cared too much.
Right.
Yeah.
So, going back to the Borg ship, the thing that's interesting for the scary part of it to me would be like, you realize that ship that doesn't look like it should be anything, it's just a big square, is better than anything that humankind or any species you have come across. It crushes it as far as technology goes. Yeah. It can regenerate itself.
Yes.
Through Borg magic, I assume is the technical term.
Microorganisms, I guess.
Yeah, but so the Borg, they show up and are just, they don't even care. Like, it's like, dude, you're breaking into my house and I'm right here.
Well, see, I always kind of just took the Borg as, just space zombies, basically. That they really didn't care too much about you until you pose a threat to them. And they're like, okay, now we're just going to destroy you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they went from 0 to 60.
Yes.
Or have you ever been in a car with someone, and it's happened to me a lot with elderly people, but where it's either all the way on the brake or all the way on the gas.
Yes.
It is just horrifying.
Yes.
That's kind of what the Borg seem like. It's all or nothing.
It's true.
Once they've decided, it is over. So they, I assume, kill the one guy. Yeah. And the other dude shows up with, like, the weird shield animation protecting him. Why didn't the first guy have that?
Because he didn't adapt yet. So when after they killed the first guy, they're like, oh, okay, so now we've adapted.
And now it's not going to work again. Okay.
Yeah.
So they did that. They do the tractor beam thing where they cut out a circle out of the ship.
Yes.
Which I thought was weird.
Yeah.
It ends up being 18 people lost out of that little thing, which somewhere research indicates that those people eventually you find out were assimilated.
Okay.
Actually had it.
So like later episodes you find out?
Yeah, I mean, it was again, I'm not watching like every season of it to find out, but I had to go by the notes that I found in the various Wikipedias type stuff. Yeah. And it said that they were assimilated. So whether that was like a writer's note or that actually gets mentioned the next time the Borg shows up or the next time Q shows up, something like that.
Gotcha, okay.
And so then they send, it was Worf, Data, and Riker doing a away team, basically. Yeah. Over to the Borg ship. Uh-huh. And then they realize how effed they are, basically. Yeah. With that whole thing. I did see something where it said, like, where the Borg plug in was referred to by the crew who worked on it as Borg spaghetti. Okay. I would have gone with Borgios.
Borgio, okay.
Like, I think that would have been much better.
Okay.
But, I mean, there's not a lot. Like, they realize that they don't even care that they're there. Yeah. They find the nursery, which is kind of weird.
Sure, yeah.
I'm surprised that Riker didn't try to steal a child, thinking that he was rescuing it.
Yes. Captain, I'm bringing this alien baby back.
Yeah. Like we need someone younger than Will Wheaton.
Yes,
it's just not working without a young child.
Yeah, so they do something, I guess. Oh no, they get startled, right, and then they go back.
Once they realize that it's regenerating, they're just like, and then Picard's like, "Get him out of there."
Yeah, yeah.
I did like that once they got beamed on. There's like almost a throwaway scene where Picard tells him, he's like, the first sign of anything, instantly get him back. No hesitation kind of thing.
Sure.
It's like, okay, I mean, if you had teleporters, that would make sense on how to do it. Although I would be afraid that I don't know. Were we at the point where they should be worried that the Borg could actually stop them from teleporting?
No, because they didn't know anything about it.
Other than they were regenerating the ship, and then
because the one Borg goes onto the ship easily,
right?
And before they actually transport over, it starts like downloading their information or whatever. Yeah,
whatever he was, and he throws the one ensign or whatever.
So yeah, I mean, but at that point their shields were up, so you should have known that their technology was far superior than yours.
Right.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if they're, because they would constantly get on planets where they couldn't teleport right away.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, there's a sandstorm and it'll
yes.
turn you into Darth Vader.
Yeah,
I'm going out of my way to make Star Wars references during this.
Yes.
So anyway, they all get back to the ship.
Yeah.
And now I am sure that there are some very nuanced things that pop up later, because they did seem to do that with Star Trek, that I didn't catch for sure. So I'm sure there are things that we are overlooking that we should be appreciating more.
Okay.
But having not watched the entirety of it, like the whole season all in one go,
sure,
there's going to be things that I'm sure people are like, oh, you're missing the best part. And I understand, but I mean, I'm watching this one episode in a vacuum, basically.
Yeah, so I mean, other than when they get back to the ship, they're running for their lives, and the Borg ship is easily catching up with them.
Yeah, like it's nothing.
And Q is like just laying on the deck.
I like
he's just
laying
in
swimsuit.
He's like
swimsuit pose.
he's like lounging on the deck and just like taunting them.
Well, yeah, and so eventually, like, they do everything they can.
Yeah.
Because they had blasted them before and got the tractor beam to stop. That's how the whole ship were generating things coming up. Which I didn't think their weapons were going to do anything to them. I just thought the Borg was going to stop dissecting it for a while or something. So they're chasing them down. They drain their shield again. Yeah. Which they should have known was coming, because that's what they did previously. Yeah. And then they're getting ready to just blast them. Mm-hmm. And Picard and Q are kind of going back and forth.
Q was like snapping his fingers a bunch of times and like rearranging crew members.
Yeah, because why not?
Yeah.
Well, and Riker looked absolutely puzzled. Yeah. But like he wasn't wanting to sell it in any way. Just over and over. Like, yeah. Was it Data is the one that he made lay in the swimsuit pose? On the weird little rail thing there. Yeah. So eventually it gets to the point to where Picard admits that they're in over their head, basically. Yeah, yeah. And I got the actual quote here where Q's like, "That was a difficult admission. Another man would have been humiliated to say those words. Another man would have rather died than asked for help. Yeah. I understand what you've done here, Q." This is Picard. But I think the lesson could have been learned without the loss of 18 members of the crew. Yeah. And then he goes on to talk about basically like if you can't take a bloody nose, maybe you ought to go back home and crawl under your bed. It's not safe out here. Yeah. Which is a good line. Right. And I mean... And
Q is 100% correct. Yeah.
Right. And then... So he snaps them back and then moves people around a couple more times just because... Why not at that point?
Because he's Q. And, yeah.
And then he leaves for... whatever he's going to do.
Now, there's an argument that in this episode, about this episode, that Q actually makes this reference in like Voyager and later on that if it wasn't for him, that the Federation would have been completely overrun by the Borg. Q actually helped the Federation develop technology to actually fight the Borg.
Right, because they saw what was
out there. Now, do you agree with that?
So I read some of the stuff, because initially I just went by what Picard said at the end of the episode. Yeah. Where he's like, he might have actually, maybe not for the right reason, but it's hard to say with Q. Yeah. You know, like the whole, they now know what's out there. Yeah. Or what, you know, they know the Borg's bad news. Yeah. Is basically what it is. So they have time to prepare for them. Yeah. Then looking into it, though... Because that was, at that moment, that was the first encounter with the Borg. Yes. But...
Sort of.
Eventually, other episodes...
Well, the movies, they go back in time.
Right. Well, they, like, rearrange stuff to where the Borg are already on their way. Yes. But this...
Well, yeah, because that Borg ship that Q took them to was actually on a course to Earth.
Right. So they
that you learn later on.
Yeah, like, but if we're going just by this episode,
sure, yeah.
He gave them a heads up.
He did,
and then they expanded it. But it is nice the way they expanded. Like once they started messing with the timeline, because apparently Barry is the Flash in space somewhere.
You know, I mean, Star Trek was very Flash before Flash. I mean, there was a lot of time traveling.
We're gonna have a Flash discussion once we finish this episode.
Sure.
Of the Q Who. Yeah. So like, even though they rearranged time eventually, they still were able to spin it where Q basically knew what was going on, and ultimately still what he did was still beneficial.
Sure.
So I did like that. No matter what the outcome is, he can basically take credit.
Sure. Yeah.
Because he did do good stuff, or brought up good points usually.
Yeah.
Like some weird, like some bizarre fairy tale.
But I think this is actually the first time, though. I could be wrong, because like you said, I've not watched every episode. But I think this is like the first time actually with Q being interfered with the Star Trek people.
Yeah.
That people actually died. Usually, I thought no one actually died when Q did his little.
Well, but they were assimilated, so they didn't die.
It's true.
Somewhere I saw that, so I'm going with, and it would make sense that the Borg didn't just kill like that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, okay.
Like they cut out a little.
But
sample.
What I'm saying is usually with Q, his little game.
Things are back to the beginning with the knowledge.
And at the end, no one ever really suffers a lot. They learn a lot.
Right. Maybe that was to make it how serious the Borg were.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
It's hard to say what they intended back. There's been decades of Star Trek stuff ever since.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, so I think that wraps it up.
Yeah. So you wanted to talk about Flash or something?
Real quick.
Yeah.
So I was talking with my brother about a week ago.
Okay.
And he's been, like, the library near him actually has tons of comic book stuff.
Okay.
And he's been reading through all this old stuff. And he's at the point where, in the comics, Flash is just messing stuff up left and right, too, with the time travel.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm pretty sure if I was, like, obviously different universes, like a Galactus type thing, or, like, a super powerful godlike being in DC, eliminate Flash.
Sure.
Like, that'd be the one thing that he would make sure to do.
Well, I wonder, like, in DC, did Flash ever become a bad guy? Like, the actual Flash? Like,
You mean, was he ever a good guy? Because all he did was cause problems.
Well,
he was the ultimate self-justified good guy. Or bad guy.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
pretty sure.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty powerful.
Sure. I mean
he can
if people complain about Superman,
death.
Yeah, I mean, people complain about Superman being overpowered. The Flash is very overpowered.
Yeah. Well, I think between Flash, Batman, and Superman, whoever you want to claim is overpowered, it's real easy to do.
Yes.
Superman is more comical when you do it.
Yes.
Because they literally do invent powers for him just randomly.
Yeah.
So, speaking of comics, since we're hitting that real quick.
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at the Comic Historian on YouTube?
No, I haven't.
It is a guy so it's a YouTube thing. He basically kind of edits comic book.
You know what? Maybe I have. Maybe
he
I have.
does like a narration of the comic book.
Yeah, maybe I have seen it. Yeah.
So after we did the Power Rangers last week,
okay,
and I was mentioning like Lord Draken, like the Green Ranger, White Ranger thing. Like I looked up a lot of the Power Ranger comic book, and he has a lot of that where he's done the narration stuff for it.
Oh, okay.
It is an excellent take on the Power Rangers.
So
like that comic book.
Would you recommend his YouTube channel? I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
We will stop for a second and find the actual name.
Okay.
Okay. It is in fact Comic Storian.
Mm-hmm.
So comic and then Storian, and pretty much all kinds of the comics are there. I was doing some other stuff during the night, like I was making show notes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And was listening to some of the other stuff. But he has a voice that does not hurt to listen to.
Very soothing.
It's not like the one guy, the Warcraft guy, that does not like Asmongold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like one of those voices where it's distracting.
Yeah.
If that's that guy's actual voice, I apologize, because that's being very mean.
Yeah, you're being mean. Right?
There's no way that's not like a gimmick voice, I guess you could call it.
Who knows?
But either way, so if you're into Power Rangers and you haven't seen the comics,
okay,
I would say look it up and see what you find about it.
Yeah.
But the way they do it in the comics is pretty awesome.
Okay.
Like it makes it. If the movies were more like what they did in the comics,
sure,
it'd be pretty sweet. So,
yeah.
All right. So we are going to be moving on now to wrestling. Is that?
Yeah, we do some wrestling.
All right. Here we go.
Well, I don't know what the hell's going on here, folks. Looks like he's just wearing blue jeans.
This is a revolution.
All right. So what do you want to start with? Because we had the Royal Rumble,
Yep.
and then we have AEW, like normal.
Yeah. I even watched some MLW.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's start with MLW. What did you watch in MLW?
So I learned that, so I was reading the rumors, wrestling rumors.
Right.
And I guess AEW is looking at a wrestler, I guess his contract's coming up in MLW.
Yeah.
I think the guy's name.
Gage?
No, it's, I can't think of the guy's name.
Excellent. Well, did you watch any of, because MJF was with MLW for a while doing stuff.
Dude,
Did you watch any of his?
I think half the roster on MLW, I want to think MLW is like AEW's like minor league, because there's a lot of AEW wrestlers in MLW. So his name is, let's see here, Warner.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I heard about that. I know there's like a few different people.
So I guess his gimmick is like Crazy Cowboy or something like that.
Right. So you watched some of his stuff?
I just watched one match of him.
What do you think?
So he was going against the one guy from UK.
You've not narrowed that down very much.
AEW, the guy who...
Jimmy Havoc?
That's it. So he was fighting him in a barbed wire match. And it was very bloody.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so... there was a lot of blood in there. So, I mean... I don't really get into that stuff. I mean, I kind of got to do it a little bit with the ECW.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where that stuff is like, well, okay, this is not wrestling anymore. This is just people...
I would much rather... If there's going to be blood in a match,
Yeah.
like the Moxley and Omega match, there wasn't a ton of blood in that. There's just a little bit. Just enough to get them reported to the State Athletics Commission.
Yeah.
To try to get them in trouble for some insane reason.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm more like, if there's going to be blood, I don't want...
To me, it has to tell a story. Like Stone Cold and Bret Hart.
Right, or Cody and Dustin even.
Yeah, okay.
Now, I would have preferred a little bit less, because that was... It's like Eddie, when Eddie bled.
Yeah.
In the one match on when he was on SmackDown.
Okay.
Where he went a little deep on the blade there.
Yeah.
Same with Dustin. He went a little deep.
Yeah.
And it was enough to make me uncomfortable. But if you give me like the Austin one, like that wasn't nearly as bad as those.
Well, was the Austin one even planned? I thought that was
wasn't
even planned. They just went with it.
It seems like it happened hard way, as they would call it. I don't know. They seem like pretty smart guys, and they probably knew that needed to be there.
Yeah.
So,
but, I mean, either case, if you're going to have blood in it, I mean, I think you need to have a story. I mean, I don't want to see some dudes roll around in barbed wire,
just bleeding all over each other.
That does nothing for me, because I'm like, well, sure you're going to bleed because you're rolling around on barbed wire.
Whereas, like, if someone gets like a cut above their eye, and then they're like, if Jericho and Moxley's match, if Mox gets a cut above his good eye, and then he's almost blind half the match, it's like, okay, that's something you can work with.
Sure.
So, but
anyway,
I'm past the dudes bleeding all over the place.
Yeah.
Now give me a little bit of blood here and there, like when Cody killed himself on the ramp.
Yeah.
That made it kind of it wasn't like over the top, but it was enough to be like, oh, all right, this makes it seem a little more serious.
So, to get back to MLW here, so I watched that barbed wire match, and I watched the Von Erichs. The two kids are in there.
Not the Texas Tornado?
No.
I was so happy when he beat Mr. Perfect for the Intercontinental title.
Sure. So they're in there. Seeing MJF and MLW as that character, without Wardlow, is weird.
Wardlow fits very well.
He does have another big guy. I don't know his name, but he's going around and
same kind of like he has
same gimmick. Yeah, it's just weird.
I haven't watched very much of their stuff.
Yeah.
So I have almost I don't know anything about Mance.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen nothing. I've seen the name thrown around.
Yeah.
But I haven't had the time to sit down.
And who knows if AEW is even interested in this guy. It's just a rumors. Who knows?
Yeah, hard to say.
Yeah.
So let's talk, because we don't normally give WWE very much time here. I'd like to talk about at least the Rumble.
Okay.
So what did you think overall of the Rumble?
I liked it. It's because I haven't seen WWE programming in a while.
Right, short of like we'll watch clips,
Like
here and
clips,
there for
but
the
as
big
far as
stuff.
an actual whole program,
Right. So compared to your expectations going in,
yeah, it was
to the end
good.
result, did it exceed your expectations?
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, it wasn't bad.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I was very pleased with the whole show.
Okay.
I had some things that surprised me.
Shaky cam, it bothers me.
Remember when you didn't even notice that? Isn't it
Yeah,
terrible?
when you told me that, he's like, yeah, all that I like about WWE is the shaky cam, and I was like, what? And when you brought it to my attention, I'm like, oh my god, Ross is right.
And now you can't. It's just like Sammy Guevara's tights.
But yeah, like Roman Reigns' fight when they were like out in the crowd and everything. My god,
Yeah, they're just
the
all over.
camera, super shaky cam because it's like going all over the place, upside
Have you
down.
seen like where people have the videos of the camera people, like how insane they look during filming?
No, I'll have to watch that.
No, we're going to stop right now.
Okay.
All right, we are back in again. This is the most we've actually stopped a show.
Yeah.
And there's been many times where we should have, and we just continued on with wrong information.
Yeah, when I was looking up the guy's name, for example.
I might go back and edit that a little bit because that was a little crazy. Yeah, so what we did is basically you can search like WWE camera work or cameramen.
Yeah.
And you'll see where they're following the movement of like chair shots or whatever it
Dude,
is.
that was hysterical. That's the first time I've ever seen it.
It looks insane when you see it happening, and it's every cameraman is doing it.
Yes.
Like, they don't have very many static shots.
Yes.
And then you watch. I haven't noticed them doing it in AEW.
No.
I haven't noticed them doing it in NWA.
Yeah.
They might. I'm sure they do it. There's probably an occasion where it happens.
Like,
but it's not.
the only
every
time I
single
notice
time.
is like when Orange Cassidy gets in the ring, they'll like pan out really.
Yeah.
But that's
They give him the Okada Rainmaker.
that's the only thing that I've noticed. Yeah.
Right. I can handle that. That's
Yeah.
fine. But yeah, I don't get motion sickness like I used to watch them.
Pretty soon WWE will just put GoPros on their wrestlers'
Oh,
body.
Let's not give them ideas.
Yeah.
So the Reigns match and Corbin went all over the place.
Yeah.
The one thing I want to know, the one Uso jumped from the top of that platform,
Yeah.
and I thought he was going to die for a second.
Yeah.
Because it looked like he didn't make it far enough, and he was just going to eat it.
Uh-huh.
That would have sucked.
Sure.
But how come the one porta potty that they happened to decide to throw Baron Corbin into
Yeah.
was on wheels?
Well, Ross. I
And
mean,
also had, I don't know if you've ever seen a brand new porta potty, it has a bunch of blue liquid in it,
Uh-huh.
typically.
Yeah.
And there was none of that. Corbin has to be the luckiest guy.
Well, Ross, obviously that was a porta potty that they were just getting ready to make it work there, and
3 hours before it was time to take it down.
someone forgot, I guess.
That was the emergency porta potty.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
obviously, that's a completely ridiculous thing for me to criticize in the world of pro wrestling. So,
Sure.
I'll
But
take
yeah,
it for what it is.
I thought that was
but
kind of stupid. Yeah, I'm like, really?
I've never been a fan of, even when Austin did it,
Mm-hmm.
like, if you've ever seen a porta potty tip over,
Well,
it's
Vince McMahon has a weird fetish when it comes to that stuff, apparently, because there's a lot of that in WWE. There's porta potties, poop. I mean,
right.
just-
Yeah.
I don't get it. Dog food.
I'm okay. Like, the dog food I love. No problems with it.
Sure.
We'll talk about SmackDown, I guess, a little bit, because there's no way not to talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Reigns wins on top of the dugout.
Yeah.
Overall,
What,
like, I was
which I thought that was neat. I was more interested that I was like, oh, they're actually inside an actual baseball stadium. I knew they were, but I didn't until
No,
Reigns
I heard
pinned
too.
them on top of the dugout. I thought it was neat.
I was hoping, and it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember when Corbin had the big mascot, big dog for Reigns?
Yes.
I was hoping somehow they were going to work that into that coming out and dancing on top of the dugout.
Sure.
Like, that's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
And for Corbin to go over because of that somehow. But yeah, so
Yeah, I thought it was all right.
it was fine. Women's Rumble, you start out with
I don't even know who won that.
Charlotte,
Okay.
which I think everybody was predicting,
Yeah.
but whatever. Alexa Bliss and Bianca Belair started it out.
Yeah.
Seems like they both were made to look pretty good in it. Belair more than Bliss, like they
Yeah.
talked her up a lot more, but I thought it was a nice showing that they gave Bliss, even though the reality is Belair could have just grabbed her, and I believe the phrase is yeeted her out of the ring directly.
The only thing I remember about that match was
Beth Phoenix bleeding.
That's it, Beth Phoenix. Yeah, Beth Phoenix, that huge gash that she had in the back of her head.
Yeah. I thought initially Charlotte was bleeding because there was blood all over her face, and I was like, it doesn't look like it would be coming from anywhere though. What's up with that? And then it was like, I didn't remember Phoenix having like the red dye in her hair. That's real strange.
Yeah,
and then it was like, oh, that's not dye at all. What happened?
Yeah,
and then I saw like someone had posted it on Reddit or something, like a clip of her smashing the back of her head in the post.
Okay.
Like she was up there and like she went to sell like a punch back and she just cracked her head onto the thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now you see immediately, I think it was Belair who she was fighting at the moment. Like you can tell she's aware, like, oh, she just hit her head real hard.
Gotcha.
And a ref jumps up too because like you could hear it.
Yeah.
And like they were checking on her immediately.
Gotcha.
So, but she lasted forever bleeding out.
Sure. Yeah.
Like if she didn't have hair, that would have been like a mess.
Yes.
So, but yeah, so that whole thing, like Charlotte wins. There's been rumors, I guess, I don't know if she actually said it, I didn't see it, where she might actually use that to challenge for the NXT Women's title. Okay. Which would be kind of interesting.
Sure. Because they're losing to AEW. So sure.
Right. And that means everything.
Yes.
Like, yeah, man, people are still into the ratings. Like, jeez.
Yeah, can you imagine if like social media was around during the Monday Night Wars?
God, that would have been awful.
Yes.
And I was young and dumb, so I would have been part of it too.
Sure, I mean,
because I had nothing but free time.
It just amazes me how toxic people are. It just
like anything that happens, like I can't tell. Like there's people who are just doing it to be trolls, but then there's people who are serious about it. And it's like I don't know who's what.
Yeah.
So we got Bailey and Evans was next.
Okay.
Now I had said when we did our little prediction for it that I had about zero interest in that match.
Yeah, and I had zero interest because I think I was cooking something at the time, so I didn't even watch this match.
I really liked the match.
Okay.
Like I thought it was like it entertained me way more than I expected it to.
Okay.
The finish was kind of cool because Bailey gets her knees up and on the moonsault and gets like the quick roll up kind of pin.
Okay.
And then so she escaped, but she kind of outsmarted her kind of thing, I thought that was pretty good. So then we get to Bray, and I put Bray versus Wyatt, but obviously that is Bryan versus Bray or the Fiend, whatever. Where I assume before this match, Daniel Bryan walked up to Bray in his Fiend mask and was like, I need you to just wear me out with that strap. It'll be okay. He was like, are you sure? Oh, yeah. This is going to be awesome.
Well, he achieved it.
Yeah, because it was like, dude,
yeah,
that is a lot of getting whipped. And he wasn't holding back, it didn't seem like to me at all. We got no red light.
Yeah, no red light.
The hope is, to me, no more red light ever. But it's probably because the welts wouldn't have shown up in the red light.
It's true. So my sister and me were talking about this match because we were texting each other back and forth.
Yeah.
Because she was watching it. And she's like, as much as I don't like the red light, if you take the red light away, Wyatt looks extremely hokey. And I kind of agreed with her. I was watching it, I was like, this looks really, really bad. I don't know. It took me out of the match. I'm like, I realized what I was watching.
If they would have never done the red light, would you have felt the same way, probably? Or you just wouldn't have ever... There'd be nothing to compare it to, so it would have just been the Fiend.
Yeah,
I'm trying to say that by doing the red light and taking it away is worse than never having done it. Because now you've conditioned people.
Maybe. I don't know. Just during that match, it just took me out of it. I just like that mask looks ridiculous, and that I don't know. I don't know. To me, I didn't.
I had no problem with it. I hate the red light.
Yeah. Oh, no, I agree with you. I hate the red light.
I grew up with the Undertaker, so invincible no-cell character. That's fine.
Yeah,
I think you need one.
Yeah, it's true.
Every federation should have at least one.
Yeah, but see, the one thing I like about The Undertaker, now we're going to go ridiculousness of wrestling here. The weakness of The Undertaker at first was the urn. So, like, his weakness was the urn. The Fiend don't really have a weakness right now.
That we know of.
That we know of, yes.
Maybe it's the rocking chair. You gotta go find the rocking chair.
Yes.
But Randy Orton, I think, burned that down too or something.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to... See, that's what's going to suck is the Fiend is going to get nerfed at some point is basically what will happen. And then, I don't know, maybe we'll get
It'd be funny if
Biker Fiend.
It'd be funny if Luke Harper shows up in AEW and he gets on the mic and says, I know how to beat the Fiend, but you know what? Since you guys fired me.
That would actually be really funny.
Yes.
He's like, in this bag, I have the weakness
but
to a monster.
Now he's just going
to
now he's just going to run wild on WWE.
I could see it. I could see that being the elite kind of thing.
Yeah,
that would be pretty funny.
Sure, yeah, because I think WWE probably would try to sue you if you did that on TNT.
Yeah, it would probably not go over very well.
Yeah.
So Fiend wins this. Well, I mean, I don't know what anyone thought was going to happen. I was entertained by it.
Yeah.
No red light made it better for me. Although you're not the only person I've heard have the discussion about something was missing without the red light.
Yeah.
And I think you guys were just brainwashed by the red light somehow.
It could be.
Something about my glasses or my contacts.
Well, see, I
prevented the brainwashing.
I liked Wyatt before he became the Fiend. I like that. Not Husky Harris. The Cajun.
Where he would ramble and talk about how he was going to change people, and then he would just lose matches over and over and over.
So I don't know.
Yeah, if he would have won like any of those, probably be very different for him.
Agreed.
So we got Asuka, Becky. So it's funny because it's the exact reverse. Is the little interest that I had for Bayley and Evans, I had the reverse interest in this match because I thought it could be really great. It wasn't bad in any way, but I found myself wandering on this match.
It was just
Yeah, like I was like checking my phone. I was like daydreaming about food.
Yeah,
making my dog dance.
Yeah,
it
was just
right. So Becky wins, so she gets her revenge against Asuka.
And really, at the end, I'm just like, okay, let's just get to the Rumble.
Right. So we got Brock is number 1.
Yeah.
And he does Brock things basically. He just, as people say, people got wrecked, son. He just tossed people left and right, and I loved it.
Now, the beginning of it, I'm like, oh god, I'm like, because I thought they were going to do the whole match that way. He was just going to eliminate everyone, and I was like, okay, that would just be stupid. I would have hated it. I
would have liked to see that, just because it would be so unexpected. Because you're like, oh yeah, he's definitely going to toss like 5 or 6 people, no problem. But to be like, we're down to the last person, and he has tossed everybody.
Sure.
Like, it'd be like when he just squashed Cena, basically.
Yeah.
Where it was like, oh. Now, granted, this would be drug out quite a while, but I would have been okay with it.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
But
it didn't go that way.
Right. The one thing that I wish would have been a little bit different is there are a few people that he made look better. Keith Lee, for example. Like, that ended up probably benefiting Keith Lee, even though he got dumped. Like, he still worked out pretty good with it.
Yeah.
I wish, like, Cesaro would have got a little bit more in. Like, he's, like, the person I could think of the most. It's like, really, you couldn't let Cesaro, like, at least wait till the other person was on their way down or something?
Agreed. Yeah.
So eventually, like, Ricochet comes in. He lasts until Drew comes out. And then the Kryptonite against Brock, which is kicking him in the junk. And then Drew Claymores him over.
Sure.
And then I guess Brock was tired.
Yeah.
Because it was nap time for like 9 more people's entrances or whatever. And then Drew kept staring at him, which I'm assuming was, I'm keeping my eye on you so you don't sneak in and throw me out kind of thing. But I don't know. Like, they didn't really say that that's why he was keeping an eye on him. Just that he was staring him down.
Yeah.
But my concern would be that I turn my back, Lesnar comes in and throws me over the top.
which you would think wouldn't that be an elimination because he's already out.
But that's how it works.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
I don't understand.
I need rules. Ross.
I just don't understand why that's not a rule, though. Like, they have like a dozen referees at ringside now for the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
You would think that they could be like, wait, if you're not in the Rumble anymore, you can't throw people out anymore. We're done with that.
Yeah. Agreed.
But yeah, so then Brock eventually just... it's like the old wrestling games where a character would glitch out to the side somehow.
Yes.
He just like kind of started sliding through the timekeeper's area, and he was just gone.
That's good. That is a great way of saying how. Yeah, because it's weird. He's saying, "Okay, I'm done."
But it was like real slow. Like he just like kind of slid around. Like it was weird. Miz comes out. Why do they do that to the Miz all the time? Why?
I don't know.
He seems like a nice guy.
See, I don't like the Miz. As a character, I don't know him as a person, but as a character, I never really got into him.
One day you'll realize you're wrong.
Sure.
I had, in high school, I had a friend who was like, I don't think Shawn Michaels is that good.
Yeah.
And then, after he when Shawn had to leave because his back was broken, he was like, man, I wish I would have enjoyed Shawn Michaels. I didn't realize how good he was. I was like, how could... Obviously, Miz versus Shawn is in a totally different way.
Let's say,
but can you imagine, like, DX era Shawn and not realizing that he is good? Like, that seems insane to me.
Yeah.
Like, even not as, like, character work, like, in the ring. Like, he just didn't think he was anything good. It's like...
Really? Yeah, see, I don't
blows
get
my
that.
mind.
Yeah,
to this day, I still think about that sometimes. So we got Edge's return.
Mm-hmm.
And then... I wanted to do something where like, and then he did this crazy, and then just stop it and skip ahead to like us talking about like him being eliminated or something to simulate where they just cut all over the place for his stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Edge is a liar because people ask him, "Are you coming back?" and he said no.
Sure.
Here he is.
Yeah.
So no wonder Orton doesn't like him. He's like, "Oh, my friend might be coming back." Oh, he lied to me too.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what happened.
Yeah. So I was actually surprised he came back because I thought if he wrestled again, he could run a risk of like being paralyzed because I thought his neck injury was pretty bad.
That's what I think. What's happened with some of these things is like Daniel Bryan, for example, is the initial reaction is a lot, but as more information comes out, it's like I think one of the things, and I could be very off on this, with Daniel Bryan was like, oh, he had lesions on the brain.
Okay.
Well, that sounds real bad.
Yeah.
But if you've had any kind of like concussion ever, you can potentially have that. So, but it sounds super bad, and if you're already not doing well and there's concerns, you're going to be more, it's bad news. I think some of this stuff could be that way. Yeah. Or he's just lost his mind. I mean, that's also a possibility where they cleared him and he should be okay.
Well, the rumor mill goes, and it's all rumors, that I guess AEW actually offered him a deal to actually wrestle for them. Yeah. And I guess WWE didn't want to lose him, so they doubled the money to keep him. That's the rumor. I don't know if it's true or not.
I mean, if you got Edge to come in for like a program with somebody, that'd be a pretty big deal. Yeah. And it could make somebody for sure. Yeah. So I could see where they would try that. Yeah. But they seem to be fairly selective. Now, granted, the people who have opened up that are available hasn't been like crazy. So it's hard to say that they're going to be like, oh, WWE guy, bring him in. Like, yeah. Because I don't think that's going to happen 100%. Yeah. But did you see where someone did the edit of the Hogan-Andre match, making fun of them missing his first spear? Yes. Where like Hogan goes to like slam Warrior and they cut to the crowd, and then right before the leg drop.
That was some bad. That was some bad editing. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoever was calling, people are like blaming what's his name? Kevin Dunn. Yeah. But if he's producing, I don't know. My understanding is usually the director is the one who's go to camera 1, go to camera 2. Sure. So if you're producing it, you might not be calling for the camera cuts. Mm-hmm. Either way, somebody messed up.
Well, all you got to do is just
not do a cut every 3.5 seconds.
Well, no, like for like the replay, just sure
you fix it.
You messed it up, but for the replay for future references.
Well, some of their camera, like just it's weird. There's so many cuts.
Yeah.
And I did like a communications broadcasting thing.
Mm-hmm.
And something about like, say a music video, like a lot of those have like pretty quick cuts because after so many seconds, people's attention starts to wander.
Sure.
Like that feels how they're doing the camera work all the time, where it's just cut every 3 seconds no matter what. And it makes me tired.
Yeah, shaky cam. Get rid of
shaky cam. Every time there's an impact, switching cameras. Now I understand if it's something that like somebody could whiff on.
Yeah.
Like supposedly that's where it came from. If someone missed something, someone sold it, and it looks so bad, they're like, "I'm going to start cutting every time there's an impact."
Did you? Now this was a couple of weeks ago, but like the Dark Order segment where the guy's doing his fake punches. So people were like complaining about it. Well, this
you mean where he was like trying to damage the eardrum by smacking the mat next to it?
So you had all these WWE people say, "Oh, this is bad, and this one guy's like, "Here, let me fix it," and he actually went in and started zooming in and out like WWE did. He's like, "Is that better for you WWE fans?" It was hysterical. It was great. I wish I could have could find that because I would retweet it because it was great.
With the amount of just back and forth that is bad and poisonous and toxic and all that, there's some really funny stuff that does come out of it from time to time.
Well, the greatest thing that I heard, I laughed for a good 30 minutes. They were talking about the ratings and everything and how the age demographic that NXT always wins, 50 plus. Okay. And this one guy was like, well, the only reason why NXT and Raw is winning the age demographic because the 50 plus boomers are falling asleep there in CIS and the TV just stays on. I laugh so much.
I've been guilty of falling asleep with Raw on.
You're part of it, Ross. You're part.
I mean, I would if I stayed awake, I would have been watching it.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, so I guess Styles, with his crazy sell for Edge on Spear, got injured.
Yeah.
So who knows? I've seen some things where it's like, oh, it's not a big deal, and I've seen others where it's like he's going to die tomorrow on his Mixer stream or where caffeine. You know, caffeine is still around. I had signed up as with an account on the caffeine streaming service.
Okay.
Just because I was like, oh, I want to have my name over there if it ever comes up.
Yeah.
It still exists, but I don't think anyone actually does anything over there.
Sure.
We should start streaming games there.
Yes.
So, your buddy, Bro Dude Shoot Guy, out real quick.
Yeah.
I just laughed when that happened because I was like,
oh, it was great.
I'm sure he is happy.
I was like, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan either because much like, was it Sonya from the beginning of Star Trek?
Oh, yeah.
The anxious engineering lady?
Yeah.
He is the kind of character that I don't like.
His character is,
I imagine that if you talk to him, he's probably kind of like that, but like normal. But then it's like go time, so it's all amped up. And it's like, good Lord, just strike him with lightning.
Bro. Yeah, it's just,
Yeah, so either way, it ends up with Drew winning the Rumble.
And I was,
because you're a Drew fan, right?
Yeah, I like it, man. No problem. The only problem I have with Reigns is like so you want the fans to like Reigns. Stop having Reigns eliminate fan favorites because when he eliminated Edge, I was like, they're going to do it again to Reigns, aren't they? They're going to make him in a situation where
but they knew Drew was taking him out.
Yeah,
so
sure.
And I have here anyone versus Reigns is the last two. The crowd would cheer the not Reigns option.
Yes,
like I could come out and it'd be me and Reigns, and I would get the biggest ovation if I low bridge him out. It's like, we don't know who this dude is or why he's here.
Let's go, dude.
It's super weird that he's got that Dean Malenko shirt on, but whatever.
Let's go, dude. Fight Reigns. Win, yeah.
So we got... I mean, I'm good for Drew.
Yeah.
He looks like just such a beastly guy.
Yeah.
So hopefully he just crushes Lesnar.
Love the way he talks, too. He's such a killer...
Yeah, he's excellent.
Is awesome.
Compared to the first go round in WWE, like it's not even the same person to me.
Wasn't he in that one stupid
3-man band?
3-man band or whatever, yeah.
I mean, if you look at the 3-man band, 2/3 of that have been world champion. Or en route to be world champion. So
sure.
Who would have thought that Jinder would be the first?
Yes.
Poor Heath Slater.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
So Raw, they did some follow-up with Orton and Edge, because Edge, that whole thing rated RKO.
Okay.
Orton does the... he hit him in the neck with the chair.
Okay.
Did you see this at all?
No.
Orton got to bring back the one-man concerto.
I mean, am I surprised that Randy Orton turns on somebody? No.
You should not be.
Yeah.
And then SmackDown, the only two things that really caught my eye is we got Braun Strowman as your new Intercontinental Champion.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, he beat Shinsuke, so that should be cool.
Yeah.
See what happens with it. I still miss the other IC belt. This one has not grown on me. It looks okay.
Yeah.
But it's hard. Like, if you give me the choice between the Winged Eagle belt or any of the belts they have now, I'm always going to pick the Winged Eagle belt.
Sure.
Maybe the Undisputed belt, like the first one that they had. And I'm always going to pick that classic IC belt over the others. Like, it's never... But more importantly, it was dog food time.
Yes.
Now, the weirdest thing to me is I understand loser eats dog food, bad guy's not going to eat it, so they're going to have to, like, dump it on him.
Yeah.
Why on earth do you have two witches' cauldrons filled with dog food that's so liquidy that you're able to stir it?
Yeah, that look more like chili. Yeah.
Right. And I would hope that it was for Baron's sake.
Well, it would have to be. That's a lot of dog food that I got.
But I liked it, though. I mean, he tried to fight back by kicking at him because apparently the Usos are not clever enough to drop down and grab his legs. Or they didn't want chili or dog food dumped all over them. Either way.
Yeah.
Hopefully that ends that feud, because I think that's been going on for a very long time.
Sure.
There are children that are having birthdays that did not exist.
Yeah,
Or it's going to continue to Mania, so we'll see. But I would feel like that would be the end of it. So, all right. So AEW, we'll get to that.
Loser marries dog or something at WrestleMania.
Loser has to wrestle in the dog costume forever.
Yeah.
Kind of like where Saturn had to wear the dress.
Yes.
All right. So we got Moxley opens up Dynamite for the week. Comes out, cuts his little promo. Inner Circle comes out with bonus random street thugs for some reason.
You know what? Before that, I was so happy that they have a theme song now, and they actually look like a stable. They're all wearing their shirts. I don't know.
I still think Hager should have had like the polo with the Inner Circle logo.
Sure. But I was like, yes. They're all wearing as they look like an actual faction now. Yes.
Hager had to open up. Or maybe he had like some kind of contract.
Did he wear polos?
Yeah. And that ran out.
Yeah. But yeah, they get like random people that
it was
that
like
Santana and Ortiz knows, I guess.
It
was weird because there was
due to the amount of Power Ranger content I've consumed. I just thought Putties and then Dark Order. So, but it was weird.
Well, and then they don't explain where they went. It's like they were just at the beginning, and I guess they just go back to the streets.
Like, you guys suck. Get out of here.
Yeah.
I will say that all in all, I thought it was good, but I've never been a fan of like the good guy being like, well, the way I see it, it's me and all these people here, so I'm not outnumbered.
Yeah.
Man, I hate that. That is like the cheesiest stuff ever.
Yeah.
However, the live crowd did not share my feelings on that at all.
No,
they were like, yeah, here's our energy. Do a spirit bomb.
That would have been great. Moxley would have like channeled Goku. It was like, yes.
Of the things that I would expect from him, that would not be one of them.
Yeah.
Although we were talking about over in New Japan, it was him and Okada.
Yeah,
in the tag match.
He's going with the pirate gimmick. He's skipping it. He's a solid Mox over there too, which is interesting. But now, see, I was at first. When I was watching his promo, I'm like, he didn't put his eye patch on enough. I can kind of see his other eyeball.
But it was actually a bandage under.
Yeah, but did he like smear Vaseline in his eye because it's like all gooey?
I think there was like another bandage there.
Yeah, there was
definitely like Vaseline or something
to make it more gross looking, I guess. Yeah. The dude, I have to give it to him. The dude is a great method actor.
He's into it.
Yeah.
Like, is the thing. Like, I think this is... Any interview, he seems real happy.
I mean, is he just going to keep this all year? Does this damage eyeball?
maybe it's going to be like Cowboy Bob, and he's just one eye forever.
Hey.
He's like, you know what? I'm going to have it surgically removed. I'm living the gimmick.
Yes.
But yeah, so they fight, and then he escapes through the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever. We get an MJF and Butcher Blade Bunny promo.
Yes.
Where they're going through like the seedy butcher shop basement.
Yeah.
It reminded me of Warcraft, like where you always have to go like down a level to get to something.
Mm-hmm.
Felt like they were doing that.
It was neat. It was
The MJF, I assume that envelope had a bunch of money in it.
I assume yes.
It would be awesome if it was just a bunch of salami. Like just something that has no business being there.
I need a sandwich later.
Right. But the Bucks win this match. I mean,
yeah, and I think it's kind of sucks for the Butcher and the Blade because their upcoming tag team. They've lost their match.
If they're trying to sell it as their hired hitman, almost like just to beat people up, like they're not.
That's true. They have.
They're making their money.
Yeah. So they don't care if they win or lose. Or
right. They're trying to get some damage in on somebody. So if they really go with that, now I do think between the two, Butcher looks awesome to me. Like I really like his look.
Yeah.
So I hope these guys start winning.
Sure.
And do something. I mean, it wouldn't like. It's funny, like every tag team that started in AEW is still a tag team, and it's been more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
Like, it gives you that faith where they can fix Butcher and Blade, and they can turn them around in like a month. Like, I have faith that they could do that, and they might actually do it.
Sure.
But yeah, so they're laying the boots to the Bucks afterwards, trying to hurt them.
Yeah.
But then Kenny and Hangman run down.
Yeah.
And we get a big old V trigger, but then we get the hold my beer lariat from Hangman.
Yeah.
And then he just leaves, like grabs the beer back and leaves.
On social media, people on Instagram and Twitter was like, "Oh, he's still in Stone Cold gimmick." I'm like, this is because he drinks beer. And if you're going to be technical,
if anyone, Beer Money is the one who should probably be displeased. I have here, Beer Money is not able to be consoled at the moment.
Yeah.
Robert Roode is just like, are you kidding?
Yeah. So I mean, I'm really enjoying where they're going with Hangman. He's great.
It went from, I don't know what's going on, but something clicked the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Where it's like, I'm way more invested in this now.
Yeah.
And I really don't know what they're doing. Mm-hmm. But there's clearly like,
well, I don't think you're going to turn Hangman heel now. It's going to have to be Omega and the Bucks. I think they're going to be the heel.
Yeah, and it might have been like years from now we'll probably be able to find out like what was the original intent.
Yeah,
or are you guys geniuses and this is exactly what you wanted to have happen and you figured you could make it work?
It turns out like the Young Bucks are just great storytellers.
Yeah, the interview's like, well, funny thing, if you actually are willing to commit to a long-term story,
yes,
and you know where you're going, even if things don't go as you're planning, you can get back on course and make it work. Well, like that's just their answer. Be like, yeah, it's funny when you're willing to commit long-term no matter what, but but take a different road to get there.
Yeah, either they're really good at like doing audibles, like we'll go this way with it, because the whole thing with Brandy Rose. Now that she has, like, it looks like she has like trauma in her. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Where it's like, is the Nightmare Collective like part of her imagination,
or just something weird was going on?
Yeah.
Well, right. Well, they're like, okay, this isn't working. And I could see with like Paige, where they're like, yeah, we're going to have Paige turn heel out of this. Mm-hmm. Like, man,
the fans are really getting behind this guy,
and we've kind of looked like the jerks in this. Yeah. Well, let's steer into this a little bit, and then be like, you know what? We can still end up with him a heel eventually. Yeah. But we need to go this route a little while to try to get back on course or something.
Either way, it was good.
And they have another interaction we'll talk about a little bit later that was one of my favorite things I think I've ever seen in wrestling. Yeah. We had Nyla and Big Swole. Yeah. Straightforward. Nyla wins.
I thought it was good.
Yeah. I mean, I saw Nyla get a ton of criticism lately after like the table match or something.
See, I thought that was pretty good. I thought you did a good job.
I mean, they had some issues with that table, but I mean, those things are hard to throw around.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Well, Tony Schiavone and JR's comments during that dark match were like, well, it takes some time to get used to those tables because, like you said, she's clearly having problems.
Yeah, and
but yeah, I don't know why
anyone who's like super criticizing that. Imagine, because Nyla obviously has more strength for the one that was on there.
Yeah.
Pick up one of those tables. Actually, first, do a full body workout. Then throw yourself on the ground a few times real hard.
Yeah.
And then start trying to throw one of those tables around.
Sure.
And see how you do at it.
Yeah.
Is what I would say.
I don't know why she would be getting
I don't know.
criticism.
And it could have just been like a small pocket of stuff that I came across where they were critical. I think Nyla gets criticism harsher than...
yeah, she's going to get a lot of criticism.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't notice anything horrible in that match to warrant it, and I thought this match was fine. I mean, I'm not like dragging people off the street to make them watch it
sure.
or anything, but... So we go to Superbad and Cody. So we get Arn getting injected.
Yeah.
Penelope made me like angry in that so my grandpa and me would watch SmackDown sometimes.
Yeah.
And when they turned on Randy Orton at one point, like this was forever ago.
Yeah.
But I just remember him being like, well, they did that Randy Orton boy wrong. Like he was just so mad at him.
Yeah.
And she almost evoked that they did that Cody boy wrong to me because she was involved just enough to like be like, are you... I can't believe she pulled that off. Like,
did you watch her Sabian and hers AEW dark match?
No, I have not seen that.
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's pretty much the same thing. She interferes a lot. This makes you mad.
Right.
But they're really good at what?
Right. Well, and she like work it in really well from the bit that I've seen. I did find it hilarious when Janela popped up when they were getting ready to go for the kid. Because like right before they did it, I was like, what is that in the corner? Like you could see through the rail. And I was like, what is that thing? And then all of a sudden he popped up and I was like, oh, that is fantastic.
Yeah.
I bet there were people who hated that moment. But I thought it was hilarious. And then so Cody is clearly running on a SmackDown vs. Raw engine. Because he had stored finishers.
Yes.
If it was No Mercy, last I knew No Mercy, you might be able to get a couple off.
Yeah.
But he just killed them with those. I don't know why he deserved that, but unless he's like...
Well, he's just like,
sending a message to MJF.
But I think Cody was just like, I'm getting tired of your shenanigans here, so I'm just going to take it out on your head. Yeah.
I guess so. So we got Britt...
I thought she did pretty good. Her.
Yeah, she was not nice. I have, for some reason, that she should try some nitric oxide. Oh, I think I mistyped that. I was trying to make a joke about laughing gas. I think that's why I was going. She's a dentist.
Yes,
she's a little uptight. Now, initially, I was going to go with Britt gave Tony more of what he deserves, since he and Malenko are not friendly right now.
Okay.
But I decided not to go that route.
Okay.
But I'm still going to mention it, so it's basically me saying that he's getting what he deserves.
Okay. I did like how she's at the end. I'm the baker that you can count on. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Towards the Cleveland people. Yeah.
Right. The delivery was much better.
Yes.
Nitrous oxide is what I was. Nitric oxide is like for a better pump when you work out. That's why I was confused. I was like, did she look like flat or what was going on?
Yeah.
So then we get to the best part where Kitty and Hangman come up to the Bucks.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, we got our plates for the belts. He's like, hey, you guys. And he just hands them name plates.
Yeah.
For the tag.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever done that in wrestling.
I've never seen. Yeah.
It is one.
Just how he's like, you may need them for later. Here you go. Yeah.
Like, I don't know why I thought that was funny, but it's like it's the way you would give like a good friend a really hard time.
Yes.
but could easily just make somebody mad.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
When I die, if someone's like, what are your top moments in wrestling? That's going to be somewhere up there just from how much it made me laugh.
All right, yeah.
So we got SCU and the Hybrid 2. The names rhyme.
Yeah.
SCU wins. They had their Kobe tribute, being from Southern California.
Sure.
So that, whatever.
The Dark Order. The only thing I got in the Dark Order is still trying to go after Daniels.
Yeah, I don't know
I don't know why you would want Daniels. Unless you're going to turn him back into the
Exalted
fallen angel.
one. The Exalted one, I just don't know. Like,
The Exalted one.
I'm assuming he will be at Revolution.
The Exalted one better be somebody big. Because if you make it like the male librarian, everyone's like, okay, this.
I mean, they basically either have to go with never revealing it,
yeah,
or something major, or it's still Marty.
Yeah, or Vince McMahon.
Yes, that would be good too. Not Vince Russo, please, dear God.
Yes,
but yeah, so SCU 1, whatever. We get a pack video.
I mean, they're really doing a lot with them. I'm really liking.
What do you think of that video?
I
thought it was awesome.
It was good.
So I have here great video. I thought this is why wrestling's great. Weird stuff can exist. Yes. And then I just imagined someone walking by. They'd be like, "Honey, there's a strange man in his underwear in the park just screaming at this camera."
Yes,
it is the weirdest thing.
Well, I think it's funny, like Ortiz and Santana.
Yeah,
when they were doing their little promo video back, it was a couple months back, when they were screaming in the subway.
Oh yeah, and people were like, people weren't even paying attention to them.
They're like, really? You get these two guys screaming at a camera? Yeah. So I can picture the same thing. This Pac just yelling at a camera, and they're like, oh, whatever.
But they got like I don't know if that was actually in the United Kingdom or where that would have been filmed.
Yeah,
because it looked like that Jack the Ripper vibe almost.
Yeah, maybe that's where we're good with it.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Either way,
I want a rubber match.
Yeah, I like it. It's like it doesn't work for me for you to just conveniently fit me in. So we'll see. I would have never thought, going back to Neville on Raw, that I would be as invested in him as I am.
Well,
like Neville, the whole issues that he had with them, probably were the best thing ever for him.
Neville,
looking long term,
Neville on Raw is nowhere near as great as Pac is. So.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. So we got Private Party and Darby against PNP and Le Champion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. Darby does his crazy shoulder suicide dive that just looks like it would hurt.
Yes.
Like there's no, I'm going to hit you with my hands and ease into it. It's like, all right, bro, you ready to eat this thing? Because I'm coming.
Yes.
And then he runs at like cheetah speed or whatever.
He is very quick. In the ring.
It is amazing to me. So we get Cassidy eats the Judas effect for the end.
And he really oversells how devastating it is. His arms. I'm like, okay.
Like your body will do weird stuff when you get knocked out. But I don't know, because did you ever see the Tank Abbott fights where the dude's arms would go straight up and just be seizured out?
Really?
Yeah. There are some weird reactions that your body will have.
Yeah, but because every knockout video I've watched, fighting, actual real fighting, people just go limp and they just go.
When we're done, we'll pull up the Tank Abbott one that I'm talking. You'll see.
Okay.
It is possible to have really strange things happen.
I'm not saying there isn't, because if you're doing some serious damage to people's spinal cord,
right? You're gonna get weird stuff going on. I have here. I don't know why I thought this, but how confusing would it be for him to have a Judas effect as well, or be like, I'm going to negatively affect your face with the Judas effect, and then I pulled here. Affect with an A is usually a verb. Simply put, effect means to impact on or influence. For example, the snow affected the traffic. effect is usually a noun.
When did you write these show notes?
About 2 a.m.
So little slap happy.
For some reason, I was just thinking about like how funny it would be for someone to like argue with them about effect and effect.
Yeah,
and like just I don't know why.
It's just funny that your mind went that way because that's why I'm like he had to wrote this really early in the morning.
Yeah. Let me get what we got here. Yeah. So we get the beatdown at the end where Darby gets beat by his crippling stick.
Sting comes out.
Yes. Crippling stick for the skateboard.
Yes.
That's what my grandpa always called it when I skated.
Yeah.
You're going to hurt yourself on that crippling stick.
Okay, yeah.
And Darby is going to find out that my grandpa, he's correct.
Yes.
I have here where Mox saves the day eventually. Like, he took his time. He was giving them a chance to see if they could handle it on their own. And with some of the weakest baseball bat shots I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
So I assume that was a real bat.
Yeah.
And he was not wanting to injure anybody. But some of those shots were not,
well, sure.
not good. I mean, but does it really matter? No.
Well, it's at the end of the show, and like you said, if it's a real baseball bat, you probably don't want to break people's ribs.
Right. So, but, I mean, he got better punches in AEW,
yes.
But his weapon shots have, he apparently reallocated those stat points.
Yes.
You will notice, though, that he doesn't do a lot of actual punches.
No.
Like when he did the horrible chop punch combo.
Yes.
He has friends. Someone had to tell him, like, dude, stop.
Yeah. But overall, it was a good wrestling week if you're a wrestling fan. So.
Yeah, I mean, Rumble made me hyped up for Mania. So
It didn't really do much for me, but I mean, I'm not a WWE guy, I guess.
Never have been. Yeah.
Never, so.
I have been. So
Yeah, sure. We was going to talk about gaming, but we are way over.
Yeah, and we have really nothing to talk about.
Other than Blizzard is terrible, I guess, at their fan base.
Blizzard is at the point with Warcraft 3. They did mess up some stuff, and it wasn't the best launch. But Blizzard is in they cured cancer. Can you believe they put all those doctors out of jobs stage? Like, no matter what they do,
people
get criticism.
will complain, yeah.
They brought it on themselves, 100%.
Hopefully, one day, if you don't fall asleep when you get home, we'll be able to do some Conan Exiles or something.
Yes. I have put it on my machine that has a webcam to where we can actually record something.
Yeah. But if
So.
any of you people out there, you people want to suggest anything, like hopefully we did the Picard thing and the Power Rangers thing good enough for people liking, I guess.
I feel like the Picard one was a little bit harder, just because there's so much stuff that ties to that.
It's true.
Having not watched Next Generation
in a very long
decade,
time,
it's hard. Like, I know there are things we missed and could have probably talked about better, but we're doing what we can.
But in any case, if you would like us to suggest something, send it to the old Twitter there.
Need to stop coughing.
Send it to Twitter. Send it to Instagram or the Bookface.
Yeah, Bookface seems to be the most popular.
Apparently, yes.
Email.
Yeah. Speaking of Picard, just really quick.
Yeah.
Great TV show.
I haven't watched it yet.
I watched the first episode. It's really good. So we're going to end this because Ross is dying.
All right. Life like a goose. I think I just broke the stream deck with my static electricity.
Ross,
no joke.
Ross broke it. You guys have a great week.
I'll just